Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do your week ahead reading. This is the 15th through to the 21st of July 2019. We're doing the weekly check-in for the current star position and the theme of the week. We're using the Tarot of the 78 Doors. Phenomenal deck. Showed you guys this deck last week. It's a recent one. Really, it's my favourite one to use. I love the way that this one works. It reminds me of something like maybe the Urban Tarot, which I am going to get, but it's going to take 2 months to get here. Which is like what? Key goal: obstacles to overcome and major accomplishment for the week. We are using the Mystic Mondays Tarot by Grace Duong. Phenomenal. Again, I love all these kind of very modern decks. That's my bag. That's my thing. Things like the Everyday Enchanted Tarot and what's it called now? The Next World Tarot. All of these kind of apocalyptic or very kind of modern, everyday tarot decks that you can really relate to in how they're depicting people just as everyday, normal people like me and you. I'm down with that. Amazing. So we're going to use this one for that area, for the what to avoid, what to embrace, and where to find support. For the week, we are using another very kind of modernistic. These decks, I would say, are also very minimalist as well, the way that they've been designed, which I really, really love. I think this one, Neo Tarot, and also a new deck that I got the other week, Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. Very similar in how they're kind of, the images are carved out, but incredible. We're using this one for those areas. And finally, your spiritual guidance, we are using the Answer is Simple Oracle deck by Sonia Choquette, and I love the no-nonsense thing of this. So, okay, we do the 15 card reading afterwards, looking at any other general stuff in 5 cards, love 5 cards, and work stroke finances 5 cards. Okay, and I'll show you the cards that we're going to use for that after we're done. All right, so let's make a start, and I'm going to speed up the video now with the cards that I'm shuffling. Okay, let's make a start then, guys, on the reading. So, let me close off my pen. Right, you guys are showing us Sagittarius as being, wow, the world. Nice. I love this depiction of the world because it represents accomplishment, does the world card. It represents finally the ending of one cycle and beginning of another. So we can see on this particular deck, and some of you guys, maybe you've had children or something, maybe you've had a baby, but the birth of the baby on this particular deck, which is what I really like, this just kind of says, right, the woman's come to the end of her pregnancy and the baby's born, so she's brought new life into the world. And this is all about new life. It's not rebirth, but it's definitely new life, new beginnings is the world energy, but also it's the accomplishment of a major goal. And I feel that you guys have, it's almost like, and I'm wondering if I should really read you guys as being the woman on the table giving birth to the baby. Some of you guys might have literally given birth to a child this week, potentially. But just, you know, I can't really read it like that because there are too many people watching. So I'm going to say that I feel that you guys have given birth to something new. And it's been a real kind of uphill battle, I think, Sagittarius, for some of you guys with this card. Because I've never given birth and I would never want to. Sorry, but it's just not my thing. And even though it's a beautiful thing that a woman can do, and none of us would be here unless our mothers had given birth to us, but it's a very violent and strenuous act as well. And so the hard work that this woman has had to go through and the pain that she's had to go through to deliver this beautiful child is a miracle, and it's enormous and it's incredible. And I feel that this week, Sagittarius, you guys are delivering unto yourself something new. It reminds me of the Empress card, this card does. I'm surprised it wasn't the Empress, actually. But I feel that really, if we want to just turn everything around and tie it up quite neatly, this is about a major accomplishment I feel that you guys are making this week. Okay, I think you're accomplishing something. I think that you're showing us the world because you're accomplishing something that is precious and something that is valuable. You're giving birth to new life this week, whatever new life that is for some of you guys. I'm seeing a change here. I'm seeing the completion of a cycle happening for some of you guys showing here as you enter into the next phase. So I'm seeing you guys entering into a new phase this week. This is who you are, the world. When you show as being the world as well, I feel that you show as being somebody who is highly competent, somebody who is also with the world energy, very self-aware, and who's learned some significant lessons, okay, with the world energy. So I think that, you know, regardless of that picture there, I think that with the world energy showing as you guys, you are showing as very mature. And some of you guys, it might be that you have been naive in a situation, but with the world energy and showing as being the world energy, I feel that you have grown up and you've matured and you are less naive about a situation than you were before, because I feel that you are coming to a place of self-awareness and acknowledgement and having learned a really important lesson. In other words, with the world energy, you're looking at a situation from a very kind of high position. Okay, so you're looking from a situation from on top of the world and downwards, and you can literally see everything that's going on. So there is a change here. There's a changing of the guard in terms of maybe some naivety some of you guys might have had in terms of having grown, having matured, having learnt and having understood a situation. There's a completion stage here for some of you guys, and there's a new phase that you're entering into, because you can indeed be the baby as well. What is the theme of the week? Well, it's, look, can you see? That's incredible. You've got the world and you've got judgment. The world and judgment showing there. Now, judgment is about rebirth. I really like this reading already. I really, really, really like. You've got two major cards, so this is a major change happening for you guys, but it's a very spiritual one this week, Sagittarius, because these are both very spiritual cards. This is a spiritual card. It doesn't have to be though, but judgment definitely is. The judgment card is all about your calling. It's all about being awoken. You're woke with the judgment energy. It's all about listening to your intuition and listening to the inner, listening to God's words in your ear. It's about following your desires, but also following the path that God has put you on, or source has put you on. This is, can you see? Now this came up, I think it came up for Scorpio or something yesterday when I was recording their video. But can you see these fallen angels, and they've got the tails? And can you see here, this woman here has got these wings, and she's coming up. It's almost like they've been in purgatory and now they're going up to heaven. So this is the kind of, this judgment, this version of judgment reminds me of that you guys have been in limbo. Now when you go to purgatory, I think it's a Catholic idea that before, if you've kind of had some issues in this life, when you die, you don't go straight to heaven. Some people don't go straight to heaven. They've got to spend time in limbo, which is purgatory, for a bit, kind of resolving their sins, whatever it is, and then they go to heaven. Well, I get the impression that you guys have been in limbo. The theme is that you've been in limbo, but that limbo is now being released. You're now being called through the gateway. Can you see that? This is just kind of symbolic of heaven, but the symbol of heaven is really that you're passing through into the light. So I feel here that some of you guys, it's almost like the judgment energy is saying that the theme of the week is that, if it resonates with you, that some of you guys have been in limbo. But now you are passing through. Now you're releasing yourself from limbo here, and you're passing through the light. You're seeing the light. You're seeing things for what they are. And I feel that there is a spiritual change within you this week. I don't just feel that it's kind of like a situation that you see, Sagittarius. I think it's a situation that you feel. And I think it's not just your intuition, but it's literally, for me, this looks like an epiphany moment with both cards. Because the world is talking about that there is the ending of a stage here, and there's a new phase, and that new phase is taken with the judgment energy, where now it's about rebirth, change, and new beginnings. You can see these people at the bottom here are break. Can you see the violence of that look there, where they're literally breaking through the ground, and there's these rocks everywhere, and they've got these. What's intriguing to me is that these people have the wings. Can you see? This guy doesn't have the wings, but the ones before him do. This woman here and this person here. So it suggests to me that whoever these people are, they become these people. They gain. Can you see? There's a woman here. She hasn't got the wings yet, but when you get here, you get the wings. So the theme of the week is that there is this very much, I think, a spiritual breakthrough, where there is a spiritual change that's happening to Sagittarius this week with the Judgment energy. You guys are being called, you're being awoken, and there is definitely a spiritual awakening that's happening here, and it's releasing you from some form of hell that you've been experiencing. And as you're released from this, you're going through, it's a process that you're taking, but the last stage shows you getting your wings. Finally, you've resolved the situation, you've earned your angel wings, you've passed the test, and you're going through the gateway. So I feel that the theme this week is about rebirth, change, awakening, resurrection, release, but also passing a test, and the universe kind of rewarding you for that. Because I feel that you guys showing us the world, there is a lesson learned here, and that lesson is now taking you over to Judgment, where you are now moving to the next phase. You've earned your wings because you've learned the lesson here. There's the ending of a cycle here for some of you guys here. Where there was once naivety, now there is maturity and understanding for some of you Saggies. What is your goal for the week? I feel with the Three of Swords energy, it is to... There's two things with the Three of Swords I often think of when I think of a goal. Number one with the Three of Swords, it's to dissect your feelings. Because the Three of Swords is deep sorrow and deep pain. But when your goal is for the Three of Swords, it's to dissect. Because there are swords cutting through a heart here. So think about the swords as being heart surgery. When surgeons have to do heart surgery, they have to dissect the heart to see what's going on in there, right? So it's the same thing. So this is more about, as a metaphor, it's dissecting your feelings. So your goal is to dissect your feelings, to find out what is the reason that I felt this way. What is the reason that I was kind of lurking in hell for so long? What is the reason that I couldn't see the truth for so long? Because here, as you're rising to heaven, you're kind of seeing the truth as well, because you're seeing the light. So some of you guys are going like, well, why couldn't I see the truth? Why couldn't I see things for what they were? You're dissecting the situation. The other thing is to open up your heart with the Three of Swords, because obviously it's dissecting and opening up. So when we're opening up the heart, we're really expressing our feelings. So some of you guys, I feel that the goal this week is to dissect your emotions and to kind of take it to pieces and say, okay, I want to work out why I feel this way. So there's a lot of analysis that's happening within this card. And I think that the Three of Swords might be ruled by Libra, the sign of diplomacy. And this is where you are. You are with this Three of Swords, taking a very kind of diplomatic view on a situation in which you're saying, okay, this is how I feel, but I need to really sit back and dissect and work out why I'm feeling like this. Because when I can do this, then maybe I can open up my heart and express how I feel about a situation with the Three of Swords energy. What is the obstacle that you need to overcome? There's a Knight of Swords. So I feel here anger. I feel that this is saying anger. Because it's... What's the word that I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Okay. So basically when you put cards together, you have to see, this can be a great knight. He can be ambitious. He can be motivated. But if he's dignified, I think it's dignified. Is it dignified? It might be dignified. I don't know where my head is right now with this, with what I'm thinking about. I can't remember the name that I'm looking for. I think it's dignified. If he's ill-dignified, I think that's what I'm looking for. This isn't literally an ill card or a bad card with the Three of Swords, but this is all about work that's being put in on your part. You're not only wanting to dissect your feelings, you're wanting to open up about how you feel as well. And what you might need to overcome, the obstacle is with this Knight of Swords energy. It might be that you need to overcome the obstacle of anger, because the Knight of Swords can be anger. So if you want to open up your heart to someone this week, you may need to overcome the obstacle with the Knight of Swords energy of getting restless or being pushy. Because the Knight of Swords is somebody who is extraordinarily pushy. He's quite forceful. So you might want to overcome the obstacle, and I think the obstacle is probably with you, of being too pushy, too forceful, especially if it's to do with expressing how you feel on a situation, showing here. And possibly being quite dramatic. I don't think it's abusive though. If anything, it will be the other person's abuse, if that's the case. What is the accomplishment you're making? The Four of Cups. Well, I think the accomplishment with the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is all about being selective and passing up an opportunity. But also being contemplative and not taking the first thing that comes to you. If you look here, she's got a cup above her head. So it's almost like on this version of the Four of Cups, she's dreaming. And the Ace of Cups is above her head. So the Ace of Cups is about emotional fulfillment and opening one's heart. So she's dreaming about opening her heart. There are 3 cups on the ground sat here. What are the 3 cups about? We don't know. Are these other things that she's opened up before? I think that what you're accomplishing here is more about intelligence with the Four of Cups. It's more about... See here, this is quite a rush card, is the Knight of Swords. So you need to overcome the obstacle of kind of being forceful, rushing in with the Knight of Swords energy showing there. Being too dramatic in the situation, especially if your goal is to open up your heart, dissect your feelings, and then dissect your feelings on a situation, open up your heart, talk about how you feel. You might need to overcome the obstacle of being too forceful with this energy. And the accomplishment might be that instead of being really forceful with the Knight of Swords energy, you actually sit back to think about and contemplate the situation with the Four of Cups energy. You're going to be really selective and really kind of being clever when, you know, in terms of choosing your moment. So this might be the accomplishment is that you don't do this. You want to do it, Sagittarius, but you don't do it because you take a step back and you say, actually, let me think about what I'm doing here and whether this is the wrong or the right thing to do. What is it that you need to avoid? Page of Wands reversed. That's interesting. So the Page of Wands reversed is backing out. It's a lack of confidence. It's not talking, not communicating, not sending emails with the Page of Wands in the reverse, showing here. That's how I read the Page of Wands in the reverse. So I feel that you need to avoid this week kind of losing your bottle, as it were. Losing your mojo, losing your confidence to clear. Because the Three of Swords is all about clearing. So it could also be said that your goal for the week will be to clear a situation up with the Three of Swords energy. You need to overcome the obstacle of the Knight of Swords energy. Maybe this is someone else. So if you want to clear something up, maybe you need to overcome the obstacle of somebody else being quite abusive to you with that Knight of Swords energy. You might just be accomplishing saying, actually, I want to clear it up, but this person might be quite abusive, so I think I'll just sit this one out with the Four of Cups energy. But you need to avoid the temptation just to do nothing about the situation, not to talk about it, because you want to clear it up with the Three of Swords. And the Page of Wands in the reverse can be somebody who has all of the right intentions, he's really excited, but then he does nothing about it, okay? What is it you need to embrace? The Five of Wands. I feel that you need to embrace that there are conflicts that you and whoever this... And I think actually this Knight of Swords is a person. I think that's your obstacle. I think this is someone that you want to open your heart up to, but they could be quite abusive, Sagittarius. And you're accomplishing just kind of like taking the time out and saying, well, let me think about this for a moment with the Four of Cups energy. Because it's a contemplation card as well. And I think that because that person, whoever it is that you want to speak to, Sagittarius, could possibly be a little bit abusive, with that Knight of Wands energy, Knight of Swords energy showing there, you need to embrace the fact that, you know, you're going to have a clash of ideas with this person. You're probably always going to clash with this person. You're probably always going to have a clash of ideas with this person. All right, this situation is probably not going to be so resolvable or easily resolvable because both of you have different opinions. And both opinions you both think are right, and they're both going to clash. Yeah, there's definitely a fight in there. It's not working together, it's fighting. Where can you find support if you need it? Oh, wow. Wheel of Fortune reversed. What the hell is that? You know, I actually feel when I look at this Wheel of Fortune reversed, that you shouldn't be trying to get advice on this. Because the Wheel of Fortune reverse stops. It doesn't move. There's no movement here. Okay. Wheel of Fortune is also karmic. So it's not like in the upright maybe you get advice from someone who you share a very, I don't know, whether it's a karmic connection to or something like that. But the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse says nothing is moving. So perhaps you shouldn't be moving ahead with any type of support from anyone at all. Because I just get the impression it's going to muddy the waters. Because I think that you know exactly what you want to do. The Three of Swords. You want to clear a mess up. You want to clear a situation up, Sagittarius. But your obstacle that you need to overcome is that there's somebody here who's quite defensive and they can be quite abusive. And I feel that you're, you know, what you're achieving and accomplishing this week is the ability to just sit it out and think about it. Rather than just going in there, you kind of actually let me think about it because I don't want them to be, you know, aggressive with me or nasty with me when I try to resolve the situation. You do need to avoid kind of just losing your bottle and not doing anything about the situation at all. Something at some point, I'm not saying it's necessarily this week, but at some point you're going to need to have to communicate and approach with this person. Page of Wands energy in the reverse. Okay. I think Page of Wands in the reverse can also be quite intense because he's quite a fun-loving dude in the upright. So you need to avoid, I think, if anything, as well, he's getting too intense about a situation here. I also feel that if this Page of Wands reverse is this Knight of Swords, the person that gets angry, I feel that you need to avoid having someone make you promises that they don't fulfill. Because the Page of Wands can also be where somebody says they're going to do something, but they end up just not doing it. You know, it's like, yeah, I'll come around later on, and then they don't bother showing up, that type of thing. So I feel you need to avoid anyone who's going to make you, especially if it's this person here that you want to clear stuff up with, you need to avoid the person kind of making you promises, empty promises with the Page of Wands energy and not fulfilling it as well, because you need to embrace that you have a difficult relationship with this individual with the Five of Wands energy. And I feel if you need support, Sagittarius, then probably you just need to, and actually, Saggy, I think that the Wheel of Fortune is your card, isn't it? It's another one of your majors. So the Wheel of Fortune represents you. It's ruled by Sagittarius. Jupiter, planet of luck. So, and it's reversed. So I think this is saying you, Sagittarius, shouldn't be doing anything about this. You shouldn't be doing. If you need support, don't. Just don't. But just put that all on hold. Now is not the time. It's not the right time to be searching out support from other people. You need to rely on yourself. You already know what you want to do. And you know who you're dealing with. And that's why you're sitting it out for a bit. You know. So you already know what you're dealing with. And you have reached that point of maturity, I think, with the world energy showing here. You understand the situation very well, Sagittarius. And the theme of the week is all about... I'm not going to read this as renewal with this individual. I think the theme of the week with the Judgment energy is about release and awakening. Okay, and seeing the light. That's the theme of the week, because the light that you're seeing, Sagittarius, is number one, yeah, you know that you've got to clear a mess up with an individual here, but the light that you're seeing is you know that they can be quite abusive, and the light is that you're seeing is also saying, well, because I know they can be quite abusive, I want to clear this up. I know they can be quite abusive, but because I know they can be quite abusive, I think I'll sit this one out and just think about what I'm going to do. Okay, because I'm well aware of the situation with the world energy showing here. Let's have a look at what your spiritual... And I just think that because you know what's going down with this situation, you've just got to rely on yourself. I don't think you should be going out anywhere to getting support in this matter. Spiritual advice, it says say yes. Whatever that means. Let's have a look. Say yes. I'm going to ask what it means by say yes. What do you mean by say yes, universe? What do you mean by say yes? It says keep dancing. You see, there's two people on here and there's two people on here. That's interesting. You know, there might be someone here who you can... I'm getting the impression you need to reconcile a difference with someone. That's what I'm getting the impression with Sagittarius. I think there's a really strong understanding that you've got to reconcile a difference with an individual in this reading. But there are challenges. And that Knight of Swords can simply be saying as well that the obstacle that you need to overcome are the challenges that you face with the Knight of Swords energy. And I think that you know what I'm thinking when I look at this energy? I think those challenges may make you guys kind of dip out with that Page of Wands and say, I'm not going to do this. But the universe says you need to avoid doing that. Dipping out and saying, I'm not going to do that because of the challenges that you face. Which is why the accomplishment is kind of just saying, well, okay, if I want to clear something up, I know there might be challenges or this person might be abusive or difficult about it. Maybe, just maybe this week it's not a good time to approach the subject and just leave it for a little while. And that's why the spiritual advice is, well, just say yes. Maybe if you leave this person for a little while longer, Sagittarius, they'll have something good to tell you. Something in which you can keep on dancing with this person. You can keep on a friendship going with them. Or you can keep, you know, communication lines open, that type of thing. But I just think that this week, even though I'm seeing reconciliation on the cards between you and another individual, I think now is not the time to approach this person. I think you've got to, with this Four of Cups energy, just let the dust settle a little bit. And once you've let the dust settle, Sagittarius, then it will be time to go back in there. Okay, guys, for your 15 card reading, we're using the Druidcraft Tarot deck. Philip and Stephanie Cargam, and we're using for your spiritual advice either the Angel Answers card by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, or the Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue. Alright, let's have a quick look, guys. Other general energies coming in, Sagittarius. We have somebody around you, a Queen of Coins. Could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn individual, dark-haired individual. Possibly it could be a boss or a work colleague. I'm seeing problems with an individual. I'm sorry. You got the Five of Wands here. Alright. This is either problems with an individual, problems with finances, resources, that type of thing. But this looks like to me like a person, it's a court card, and then you've got the Five of Wands, which are problems, fights and conflicts. So you might be running into conflicts with an individual showing up here. Knight of Coins, it could be about a Virgo individual or a younger male, possibly in work maybe. Ace of Wands, so this person, the Knight of Pentacles energy showing here. This person here, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is all about excitement and sex and desire and passion. Okay. You know, I'm not going to read like this as a court as well. I just get an impression that this Knight of Coins has a desire with the Ace of Wands to make you an offer. I'm getting jealousy from another individual here. So just be aware, Sagittarius, some of you guys, it might be you've got a jealous friend around you, because you've got the Five of Wands, which is conflict and jealousy. And this is a person here. There's a person around you who's probably quite jealous. It looks to me it's about a Knight of Coins. Could be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn individual here who has a desire with the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is also about desire, sexual desire, that type of thing. Knight of Coins. So this is a young dude who has a desire to show their feelings to you, to flirt with you with the Knight of Cups energy here, to ask you out on a date. I think you've got some competition. This is a woman, and the Five of Wands can be a competitor. Alright. I'm getting that somebody's jealous of you, Sagittarius, and somebody's competing with you. It seems to me definitely to be about a younger dude. Could be an earth sign whose desire is to invite you out or ask you out or to develop some form of a relationship with you. In terms of love, and that was love there, but we do actually have the love reading here. We've got sadness and regret, Five of Cups energy. Now the rebirth card shows up here. Now rebirth in terms of love it's judgment, it can be renewal, but it only if aspected, I feel, that's the word I was looking for, aspected. Only if aspected by things like the Six of Cups or the Ten of Cups, shows you renewing kind of relationships with people around you, or maybe there's a person sitting here. Let's have a look. Okay, so Five of Coins. Okay, I feel that some of you guys are literally trying to get over a loss, because the rebirth card means to be released, to be cleansed. So, and the Five of Cups is sadness. So I think that some of you guys are trying to get over a loss here. But I do feel that you're still feeling really sad. Okay, and really feeling quite an outcast or outcasted or shut out by an individual here. This individual's closed their heart to you with the Two of Swords energy showing up here. Okay, you've got the King of Cups energy showing here. I think this person's emotionally blocked, or they've blocked their emotions towards you. I think you're upset because this person's blocked their emotions from you. Because the Two of Swords is closing your heart and this is emotion. Okay. Read the other way, it could be as well. Definitely I feel here that you guys are trying to get over a loss with the Five of Cups and the Rebirth card. But I do feel that you're still really upset that you're going to have to close your heart to a King of Cups. This could be a Scorpio individual as well. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian, male around some of you guys. So, sad about a loss, trying to overcome it, but feeling upset. 2 ways I'm going to read this in love. Upset, trying to overcome it, rebirth. But still feeling upset and like an outcast. Number 1, about having to close your heart to this person. This would have been a really nice person, or could be a water sign. Number 2, feeling really upset because this person's closed their heart, closed their emotions down, or blocked their emotions concerning you. But I am also seeing, and it looks like love as well, somebody who's quite competitive and quite jealous of you. It's to do with somebody who's offering you, who's very focused on their desire. They're very focused on their desire to, you know, to ask you out, to go on a date with you. And I think you've got some jealousy around you concerning that for some of you. Let's have a look at work, career. Okay, sudden changes are the Tower energy showing up here. Magician. Sudden changes, manifestation. So both cards are talking about something unexpected or some form of some form of sudden change happening here. Something suddenly changing and manifesting. King of Wands. This could be a person, a boss or a colleague. Success as well. An action. Okay, Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is being challenged or people who are demanding things from you. I think you've got a man, a very demanding individual showing up here. I think this is work. Ten of Swords in the reverse. This is overcoming. Overcoming problems. Ten of Swords. Usually Ten of Swords in a career reading means to be kind of made redundant, stabbed in the back. Work colleagues are stabbing you in the back with the Ten of Swords energy showing there, but it's reversed. So it's almost like you're overcoming something. I'm seeing a very demanding individual here. Sagittarius. Ten of Swords energy overcoming that though. I'm seeing some sudden... It's almost like there's a sudden spark of an idea here. Because the Tower is all about sudden changes or a sudden upheaval. So I'm seeing for work a sudden upheaval. The Magician and the King of Wands. So this could be somebody who is highly skilled, in a very strong, who's quite demanding here. Do you know what? I think there's a sudden change coming in around an individual in your work. I think this is the same person. 1, 2, 3. The Magician, the King of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Okay. Or this could be 2 people. I think that this is you facing down demands from these 2 people. So I feel for work, if you've been, and this is why you've got this Ten of Swords in the reverse here, you're finally overcoming a time where you are really kind of piled high with work for some of you Sagittarians. I do feel that there's going to be a sudden change. There's either one person here, or there's 2 people, a Magician and a King of Wands. They were being really demanding, and you were facing a lot of demands from these people in work. But I feel that with the Ten of Swords in the reverse, you're finally getting rid of the workload, or this time is over now. You know, you're overcoming this. I think that if you've had a really busy workload, Sagittarius, and it's been brought on by a couple of people or one person here, and they've been really demanding and that type of thing, and you've been trying to fight off all the work that you've got, I feel that this is going to be over now this week. I think that you're probably coming to the close of a project or something like that, or something is being lifted from you, some work is being taken from you. Let's have a quick look at the angel answers, Sagittarius, and see what the angel guidance is for the week. What is the angel guidance for Sagittarius this week? What is the angel guidance for Sagittarius this week? It's telling you to be assertive. I think that you probably need to be assertive in this area here. Maybe if you want this Ten of Swords reversed, because it does look like you've got 1 or 2 people in the workplace that are being very demanding with you. But it looks like you are able to release that with the Ten of Swords in the reverse. You know, you're able to overcome that. Okay? But it might be something that you need to say with this be assertive card that allows that Ten of Swords to take effect. And also where you've got this really competitive female around you guys. Mostly females, I think. This really competitive female. I think if you're a male and you're heterosexual, or if you're a woman, even, it might be the part, I'm not saying the part, sometimes if you get a queen or a king and you got a 5 of wands, it indicates an affair. Somebody going out, and we do have the same suit, somebody going out and they're offering, this can also be a desire, because the coins represent earthly desires. So the Knight of Coins is following his earthly desires. Sex. And this is sex as well. Seduction is the Knight of Cups. Okay. So I don't know whether this could be a partner for some of you guys. It might be, just be careful for some of you guys that somebody's not cheating as well. They're following their earthly desires, which is what the Knight of Coins does. Sex, Ace of Wands, energy. Knight of Cups being very seductive about that as well. You need to be assertive. If there's something you don't trust with someone and they're not telling you, you need to ask them it. Be assertive, clear it up. Alright, that's your reading, Saggies. Thank you for your time. Take care, my darlings. Bye-bye.